Morning everyone, Angus Campbell here, Sunday the 15th of September, and following on from yesterday's activities where we identified incorrect rings and also the correct way rounds for the pistons in the bores left and right. Then we'll follow up today with more measurements and then finally honing, and hopefully then we'll be in a position to test fit again the barrels and the pistons. Okay, so the first thing I've done this morning is to go through the measurements again, and what I found, as we suspected, is that the right hand piston is a slightly larger diameter than the left by 2 thou diameter, but also we've got a bit less meat to play with on the right hand bore than the left, which is what we suspected anyway, because with the right hand bore then the ring gap is correct at the moment, so the right hand bore will just require a light honing, so we've got a good cross hatching for the rings to run in properly. But with respect to the left hand bore, then we can take a couple of thou off that, and that will then check the ring gaps, and if the ring gaps are still too small, then we might need to take a little bit off the end of the rings just to increase the gap. But first of all, we'll get on with some honing. Let's say right one very lightly, left one we can afford to take a couple of thou off there, and then we'll hopefully have equalised these sufficiently for a new fit. So let's get the hone set up on the drill, and we'll get cracking. Okay, just one quick thing to add before we start honing, in that I've used the bore gauge to check that the bores aren't tapered. Which they're not, and also we can use that gauge to check how much we're taking off these bores. So with the right hand bore, which is that one, then we're just going to do a very light hone to get some cross hatching on there. But the left hand one, we're going to take a couple of thou off, which I'll need to convert because the dial gauge is in millimeters. Right, we'll get set up and start honing. Okay, we're set up here with ready to hone, and what we're aiming is to do is to create a diamond cross hatch. So that's quite a slow RPM, and moving in and out at a fair pace, so we get a good diamond pattern. We'll continue to do this for a little while, and then we'll do a quick check. So we've given that a light hone thus far, and I don't know whether you can see that too well, but we are achieving a nice diamond cross hatch, and you can see from the end of my finger that we are taking a little bit of metal off, so we don't want to do this too much on this side, but I'm just going to give it another 30 seconds or so on that side, and we'll probably leave it at that, and we'll check the ring clearances again. Okay, there we are. As you can see, the bore has become slightly matted, and if you look carefully there, we've achieved some cross hatching, so we've effectively glaze busted it, and we'll just put a ring in now there to check the gap again, but I really don't want to take any more off that side because I think we're within tolerances. Okay, there we are, compression ring in, and we've got a 10 thou ring gap, which is good. So that side complete. We'll move on to the other side now, and this is where we're going to need to take hopefully a couple of thou off. So we'll measure this up first with the dial gauge, and then we'll get cracking. Okay, so off the right hand bore we're looking to take about 2 thou inches, which is approximately 0.05 millimetre, 5/100ths of a millimetre. So what we've done with the gauge is zeroed it at the current diameter, and we're going to look to take up to 5 graduations there to increase the bore size by 5 of the graduations on that dial, which is looks to be quite a lot, but that's 0.05 mils. So anyway, we'll take it a step at a time. This is going to take some time, so I'm going to crack on with it. I'll be here for a little while, I think, and I'll bring you back when I do the first check. Okay, first check after a few minutes honing on a fairly high tension, and with the ring check now we've got about a 4 thou inches gap on that ring. So I think about another 5 minutes or so should just about do it. With the dial gauge, it seems to indicate that I've taken about 1/100th of a millimetre off the bore, which doesn't seem to quite equate anyway. But we know we've probably okay with clearance on the piston side, which we'll check again. But we'll take this out a little bit further to get a bit more gap on that ring, and then we'll do a piston check. Okay, we've been going at this for several minutes now. Plenty of lubrication. It's definitely taking metal off. The bore has gone out about 2 thou, and we've now got, as you can see there, hopefully, we've now got a ring gap of about 6 thou there. So I'm just going to do this a little more, and we'll call it at that for ready for a test fit. So that's gone reasonably well. It hasn't taken us as long as I thought it would. I think the key thing is to ensure that you provide and keep adding plenty of lubrication to wash out the shaving and keep the stones on the hone as clean as possible as you're going. But yeah, pleased with that. I'll just do that a little bit more, and we'll take it from there. Okay, there we go, everyone. You can clearly see the nice ring gap there now, which is 10 thou. That didn't take as long as I expected, actually, and as you saw from the previous clip, then as I said earlier, the key seems to be plenty of lubrication to get rid of the ground metal and to keep the stones clean, and it soon seems to get to the desired position. So you've got to be keep your wits about you, otherwise you could go too far. But anyway, very pleased with that. You can see it's brought the balls up beautifully. Now hatched and glaze busted too. I'm just going to give a very light go now at a very slow speed to get some cross hatching. You can see, as we've been going at high speed with high tension on this side, we haven't got the hatchings that we've achieved on that side. We'll just do a very light one now on this side, and that should be it then. So 2 secs and we'll be done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've sorry, it's a bit difficult to demonstrate, but we've now got diamond pattern on that bore too, as well as the other one. So that concludes then the bore preparation. I'll check the ring gaps again, the piston fittings, but we'll end the episode here, and in the next episode we'll do the fitment of the pistons and barrels onto the cases. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I hope that's been interesting. It's the first time I've really attempted anything like this, but pleased with the way it's gone. Key thing is make sure you've got the right tools for measuring, that you ensure there's plenty of lubrication on the stones, just to be patient and undertaking checks and measurements frequently along the way. But very pleased with that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye-bye. Hi again, everybody. Quick supplement: pistons slotted in at the bottom anyway, just to ensure that the rings were fitting well, and all seems to be good. So, job done. Pleased with that. As I say, we'll definitely leave it there. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and see you again soon in the next episode when we'll be fitting the barrels onto the cases. Cheers, everyone. Bye.